I am DYANAROZAY, and I bring a unique commentary to your favorite reality TV shows and whatever is popping on social media. If you are not a subscriber, please become one. Hit that notification bell too, that way you don't miss any of my videos. I go by DYANAROZAY on all platforms, and I appreciate every single one of y'all for rocking with me. What's up, Supreme Team? Welcome to the channel. What's up? What's up? What's up? Come on in. Come on in. Okay. We are here to talk about the Belle Collective. This is season 6, episode 6, and it was fantastic. Okay. I really am enjoying this season. Every single episode has been a 10 out of 10 for me. But come on in, everybody. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the cookout. Welcome to the cookout. Y'all know how we do it over here. I need you to drop your city, your state, your country, your island, wherever you are from, into the chat so that I could say hello to you real quick and make sure that y'all can hear the sound of my voice, okay? And while you're doing that, go on ahead. Take the poll at the top of the chat, please, and thank you. Take the poll. And look, gotta pull back a little bit. Take the poll, grab yourself something real quick, okay? Grab yourself a sweet tea, a red, okay? A burger, a link, whatever. Let's see. Y'all already talking about Tamra. Not only should Tamra have mentioned the DM, she should have also told Letitia about what she said. Okay, make sure y'all take that damn because Tamra was avoiding this the entire episode. It made her look a little bit like a coward to me, because I was like, girl, you do know that this is on camera, so it's gonna show up. It's not like you're hiding anything. But the shit was funny. Come on in, everybody, please, and thank you. Welcome, Clone. Clone is my real sister. We got the same mama, same daddy. Okay, she is here today to moderate the chat for me. I appreciate you, Miss Clone. What's up, Cleveland in the house? Great episode. What's up, Texas? Nice to have you. What's up, Queens? Are you Queens, or you're just calling us Queens? Queens, New York, or you're just calling us Queens? I believe that Marnice is actually from Texas, if I remember correctly. I remember some of y'all. So come on in. Welcome to the chat, y'all. This is the cookout. Okay, we have fun over here. Go on ahead, bring your items in, child. Put them on the family picnic. That way everybody, the picnic table, that way everybody can get themselves a little something. I have the best cook on the grill right now. So go on ahead and hang out over here while we talk about one of my favorite shows at the moment, Belle Collective. So I was actually on Carrie Paul's live. I think she had it on Friday night. I really like Carrie. Carrie is very down to earth. She is an excellent person for the show. Some of the things that she was sharing about the behind the scenes stuff, you can tell that she doesn't let a whole lot of BS get to her. She said, I get along with everybody. She said that she is very quick-witted, that she loves to, be a part of the mess. But she said, I don't have any problems with, getting at these ladies. And she said that out of everybody, she said, Marie is the only person that she's had any real back and forth with, but it didn't sound like it was horrible. Okay. Come on in. Welcome. I see you, Netherlands. Thank you for always coming in and supporting, child. I don't care where or when I get online. The Netherlands always catch a plane and lands over here with me. So thank you, girl. I appreciate you. You said, yes, you meant the queens that are in the house. Okay. That's right. The queens. What is up, Lady D Keys? Welcome. She's also a moderator, so please say hello to Lady D Keys, okay? So y'all, I'm going to get right into it. Come on in. Listen, it picked up exactly where it left off last week. They were all at that restaurant, a friend of Carrie Paul's. They were back there on the patio, and Letitia asked Latrice, did you see Glenn with your damn own eyes do anything inappropriate, be it with Mandy or anybody else? Okay. Have you ever seen it with your own eyes? And look, Treese wasn't hesitant. She just kind of was like, no, no, not with my own eyes. However, Mandy's not a liar. So if Mandy says something, you should take heed to what she says. Now, after she says that, Letitia is bearing a hole, like she is staring at her like this bitch. And I'm not even kidding. She just stared at her. Treese didn't look scared or nothing, but you can tell there was a lot of tension in the air. Marie ends up saying, "Oh, child, come on, let's change the subject." Let's change the subject, child. Let's move forward. We don't want to have all this bad energy. But yeah, you could just tell that at that point, Letitia had put it in her mind, I don't trust you. You're not my friend. Because she wants Latrice to say, I never saw that. And if I did see it, I would have told you. She doesn't know what to give to her. You know what I'm saying? In this moment. Come on in, come on in. Running a little late, baby. But you have the fruit trays and the lemon drops. Thank you. I appreciate you. I think your name is Dyrese. Okay. Dyrese, child, you're one of the cousins that I see you all the time, but we don't always, chit chat. However, you've always come through for me, baby. And I appreciate that. So come on in. Marilyn's in the house. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Y'all go on ahead and get yourselves a lemon drop. Okay. Anyway, Marie said, let's move forward. We're going to have to get this shit, push it out. But everybody is feeling the tension, including Tambra, who is sitting there watching this back and forth between Latrice and Letitia, and she's not piping in. And Latrice feels a way about it. She's like, girl, you were there. You saw the messages too. Tambra said, my name is Bennett and I'm not fucking in it. You're not going to put me in it either. Come on in. Come on in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay. Anyway, it's the next day. It's the next day. And y'all know Latrice and Letitia were supposed to share a room. They had these little ass bunk beds. I don't know what's smaller than a single, but it looks smaller than that. Okay. Anyway, Latrice wasn't going to fit in that, or not Latrice. Letitia wasn't going to fit in that bed no matter what. Not on the top bunk, not on the bottom. So she climbed her ass in the bed with Marie. And when they wake up, they both got their bonnets on, their faces clean, no makeup. And yeah, Maurice asked Letitia, how are you feeling? Okay. How are you? How are you feeling? And Tisha said, when a person shows you that they're a demon, okay, a demon with a wig on, trust them the first fucking time. That's it. I'm done. Okay. I'm not gonna let this shit ruin me. But I've seen all I needed to see from Latrice. And what happened in episode 5? In episode 5, Glenn put it in his wife's ear. It's your friend, Latrice, who's coming after our family. If you don't fuck with our family, if you are trying to drag our family down, then you don't fuck with me. I'm not going to do that anymore. And I told y'all Glenn was going to have it. Come on in. Come on in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Dyrese has got them lemon drops popping, okay? In the other room, in the bathroom, we see Latrice and Tambra, and they're talking about the events. And Tree says that Letitia's trying to blame her for Glenn's wayward dick. And she said, I'm not going to claim that. I'm not taking that on. You know your husband. You know his shit is wayward. It has been since the day y'all met, according to you. That's the shit you used to talk to me about. So why am I taking that on? Never going to happen. Okay. And she said, we can be cordial if that's what she wants to do. But I'm not accepting this responsibility. Now, we talked about this last week. I said, whose side were you on, Latrice or Letitia? And it was split down the middle. A lot of people were like, Letitia knows the man she has. I don't know why she's blaming this on Latrice. Come on in. Why it got to be wayward? That's what it is. That's what it is. Wherever the wind blows, he's like a sock, child. Okay, a sock on a clothing line. That's what's happening. Anyway, in confessional, Tambra said, I regret reading those fucking text messages or the DMs. I regret it. I regret that I even seen them. However, That pool party that Latrice didn't invite me to, that she purposely kept me off the guest list from, I accept. I thank God I wasn't there because I don't want to be a part of any of this drama. Come on in. Welcome, you guys. Hit the like button, share the video, okay? There's 50 people in the room, but only 24 likes. Thank you. Go on ahead, hit that like button, baby. Hit it, hit it, hit it. And that's how she felt. She said, you snubbed me, child. You told me I couldn't be there. But it was a blessing in disguise. Thank you for not bringing me here because I'm not accepting this shit. I'm not putting my name in it. I'll watch because the shit's interesting, but I thank God that I wasn't a part of it, okay? Now it is time to get ready for this event. It's the Women's Brunch Mississippi. Carrie is hosting it at her restaurant, and she is there early getting everything together because y'all know Carrie's very hands-on, while the rest of the ladies are going to go separately. They're getting into the Sprinter van, and they are dressed to the nines too. Everybody got on their nice little outfits with their hats on or their fascinators, so they look super, super cute. And when the collective arrived at the restaurant, it is full. It's actually wall to wall of women, either entrepreneurs, and I mean everybody, young and old, women who are either there already an entrepreneur, trying to be an entrepreneur. It really looked beautiful. It really did. Latrice gives a speech, or excuse me, Letitia gives us a speech where she said that this brunch is about networking and sharing with each other. We are Black women in Mississippi who have worked hard, paved a way for ourselves and our family, and we need to keep this going. She said that this is a collaboration over competition, okay? In this place, we should all feel safe to collaborate with each other and not feel like we are competing with each other, which was really a cute little speech. Good for her. Carrie actually thanks Tisha for holding the brunch at her restaurant, and she starts talking to the ladies, and she gets super emotional, so emotional that her damn eyelash literally peeled away from her eyelid, and it was hanging in her eye. She didn't see it, which lets me know she was wearing those snuffleupagus eyelashes, because you know how long your eyelashes have to be where you think that the shit is still just attached to your eyelid? She's sitting here giving this emotional speech. She's crying. The rest of the collective is looking at her like, girl, you don't see that eyelash? Anyway, someone taps her on the shoulder. I think it was Tisha. And she was like, girl, your eyelash. And they get a hearty little chuckle out of it. They get a hearty little chuckle out of it. In confessional, Carrie said, I don't care about that type of shit. That doesn't bother me. I was there to do what I was supposed to do. That's it. That's refreshing, child, because a lot of people don't like to be teased or made fun of. Okay, come on in. Welcome, everybody. Nice to see you. Is it your birthday? Happy birthday, Ty. She said that her birthday was yesterday. Happy birthday, girl. Another year around the sun. Okay, may it be blessed. And, all the things, okay? Anyway, Tisha says that the guests need to link up and not be afraid to slide into each other's DMs. Not to be afraid to slide into each other's DMs. And Latrice caught it right away. As soon as she said, don't be afraid to slide into your DMs, she tried to stifle a laugh, like she dipped her head down and turned to the side. In confessional, she was like, girl, out of all the things you could have said, sliding into the DMs is not one of them, okay? Especially considering that's what your husband's very good at, okay? But they all had a good time at the Mississippi brunch event. Now it's after the brunch, and the collective all gets back on the Sprinter or load back onto the Sprinter to go back to the beach house. And it's a long drive back, you can tell, because it started off daylight and then it got dark. But when they are on the Sprinter, the girls are chopping it up. They seem to be having a good time. They're laughing. Marie said that Carrie has a really nice restaurant, so she complimented her on that. And then she asked her, why did you tell us not to eat that much when we were at the restaurant? They serve brunch there. And Carrie said that she has a full day of Creole planned, so she wanted to make sure that the girls had room for later. Marie said, I can't eat all that spicy shit. Okay, I can't eat all that spice. It's not for me. What do you have for me though? Like, you should know that I'm a pretty finicky eater at this point. Carrie said, "Mm, I should have known that you like that unseasoned chicken, child. The second I saw Martin, the second I saw Martin, I should have known that you uh, don't like your chicken season." So she was making fun of her. In fact, everybody was making fun of her. They all got a good chuckle out of it, high-fiving each other, the whole nine. But Marie took it like a good sport. So that was funny. Come on in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I appreciate y'all. You said Latrice is shady AF. Okay. Keep talking. Anyway, now we are back at the house. This was a short review, child. Now we're back at the house. And Carrie says that she's going to do what's referred to as a lemon squeeze, which I guess is something that AKAs do or did in the sorority. Y'all can tell me if you are an AKA, if y'all did anything called a lemon squeeze, because she said that's where she learned it. And I heard this on her live the other day. She said that they would always do it when they had their AKA meetings, or they would do it sometimes. Anyway, the ladies end up putting on these pajamas. They're all wearing matching pajamas that has lemons on it. And then Carrie's mom, her mama, her auntie, and her mother-in-law come to the party. And they all have huge pots, Tupperware containers, all the things. They have been the chefs or the cooks for this second half of the Creole party, okay? Carrie said that food comes together or brings people together. And she said the collective is still off. So she's hoping that this good food is going to help the collective get together. Now I'm going to tell y'all, some of the best food I ever had in my life was made by this guy I used to date. His mom was Creole. I think I told y'all this story before, but she used to teach me how to cook stuff. Anyway, there was this, he had a brother who he wasn't well. He was on drugs, okay? But he had come into the house one day. We were all sitting there. I was sitting there with his mom, his dad, the boyfriend. Anyway, the brother comes into the house and unplugs the TV. We were watching TV. He unplugs the TV and picked it up like he was going to walk out the house with it. And the mama went and got a baseball bat, and she came back in there swinging. I kid you not. To her own son, she was about to take his block off. And he was like, what? She said, get the hell out of my house and don't come back. And then she started saying something that I couldn't understand, but she went back into the kitchen and got a box of salt. And then when he went out the door, she took the salt and started sprinkling out the door, up the driveway and down the street. And then she came back in and told me this was going to make sure he never came back to the house. She started putting a spell on him, okay? And I was like, oh my God, what am I in? It was literally one of the best. What, leave my damn TV alone. That was one of I love that lady, okay? But anyway, she used to tell me all kinds of shit. She even told me that her son was no good. She was like, listen, I love you, and you're going to leave this because he's no good either. He's not good either, okay? But she did teach me a few things, child. So if one of y'all, walk around and you find yourself without an arm, it just falls off in the street, you'll know why, child, because she did teach me some shit. Come on in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. 79 of y'all are here. But yeah, Carrie said that she is from a long line of the Creole folk, okay? Come on in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And she said that her people were there and they know how to cook their ass off. So don't even try to act like you don't like what's going on. They came in there, heated up their food. Not the voodoo. Clone, I've talked to you about these things before. They had gumbo, bread pudding. They had all types of drinks out on the counter, vodka, Henny, you name it. Matt's mama actually looks like she is like the down ass auntie for real, that tells everybody, what's supposed to be going on in the world. But I loved it. All the things. Anyway, Marie looked at all that food and said, I'm not eating that shit. I'm not eating that one thing, which cracked me up. Come on in. Was your ex Louisiana Creole or Haitian Creole? I think she was just Creole, but I can't say for sure. I was young. I lived in Texas back then. I was super young, and that was the first time I had ever saw some shit like that. So, I was a little scared to ask questions, but she was telling me a whole lot of stuff. I can tell you that. Okay. She was like, this is what you do when you don't want to come back into your house. You don't want this spirit back in here. And she said that they're not supposed to cross over the salt. Anyway, child, it was great. That's right. Come on in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. But after everybody's getting their plates, Marie said, I'm sitting this one out. I'm not eating anything. I don't know what it is. I don't know what Marie saw, but y'all know she didn't eat that crawfish. When she went to the restaurant, the friend's restaurant, she wouldn't eat them oysters. She wouldn't eat anything like that. And then when she was sitting in the house and watched Carrie's family cook, she said, I'm not eating that shit either. She ordered a pizza. I'm going to risk it all and just order a pizza. Hopefully those pimple-faced kids will, give me something I can eat. Come on in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Anyway, after everybody finished eating and Carrie is cleaning up the kitchen, the doorbell rings. And it is a pizza delivery. They didn't know who it was, though, because they're literally all dressed in their pajamas. You know what I'm saying? They're just sitting around filming, hanging out with each other. And they're like, who the hell is at the door? Letitia said, I hope it's not a stripper, okay? Because if it is, I don't know what Dr. Monroe's going to do, child. Anybody with a bare chest and a G-string can get it when it comes to Dr. Monroe. So she makes it seem like Marie will give it to anybody, okay? She just be giving it out. But anyway, it was her pizza. And Marie was hilarious. Marie said, oh, that's my food. And then she said, Carrie, bring me some of them napkins over there, okay? Bitch, you might have cooked or you might have had your family cook, but I'm going to need you to give me some napkins because I'm not eating any of that shit. Not the bread pudding, not the gumbo, not a nothing, okay? I would go for the pizza too, child. Anyway, Carrie was sitting there with her face. Let me get this picture up. She was sitting there looking like, this bitch really had a pizza delivered to my house. Everybody was cracking up. Marie said, does anybody want a slice? Selena said, I do. I do. Okay. Whatever happened, Carrie brought her plates. She brought her napkins. She accepted defeat in that moment. Marie said that was the best pizza she ever had. Okay. She said, under no circumstances was I going to go to bed hungry. Okay. I'm tired of this shit. Let this be the last trip that Carrie plans. Okay. But anyway, after all of that, y'all, Carrie said that they are about to get into the lemon squeeze, okay? The lemon squeeze. And she explains to them what the lemon squeeze actually is. And while she's talking, y'all, I guess she was in charge of heating up bread and she burned it up. Marie was like, bitch, you can't even cook. That's why I'm not eating nothing you got going on over there. Carrie said, I can cook. I was just multitasking. I forgot that the bread was the bread was even in the oven. But anyway, she's explaining everything and she tells them that this is where we get to talk about the problems that we all have. And she asked Letitia to get whatever it is off her chest because she doesn't want Letitia and Latrice to keep up this argument, to keep up this fight with each other. They've been walking around each other, the tension's thick, and they don't want to feel like that anymore. They want them to solve it. Letitia says, when I confide in you, when you cross me, then it's up. I'm done. I don't know what else we can do. And she also said, I don't appreciate how my vulnerability was weaponized with Amanda. And the only reason she did that shit is because Latrice let it happen. And she basically says, I don't know why y'all feel bad, but we can just keep this shit cordial. I'm not trying to make y'all feel bad, but we can keep it cordial. While she's saying all of that, Latrice she has this weird smile on her face, real sheepish looking. And she was just nodding her head because she knows that she's being swatted. She knows that the knife is coming for her and it's coming. She's stabbing her in the chest. She doesn't know what to say. Letitia also says, your friends are supposed to have your back. And even when I'm not in the room, Latrice should have handled Amanda. Now, I'm going to ask y'all a question and ask y'all to put it in the chat. Um, do you think that Latrice handled herself poorly, or that she could have done something differently when Amanda said, I have the text messages between her and Glenn, or the DMs? Do y'all think that Latrice should have said, I don't want to see it, or what? Put that in the chat. If you think that she should have said, I don't want to see the text messages, put a 2 in the chat. If you think that she should have saw it and it was what it was, because everybody keeps making it seem like Glenn isn't a cheater, put a 4 in the chat. Okay. Poorly handled. Poorly handled. 2 in the chat if you think that it was poorly handled. Put a 4 in the chat if you feel like she did what she was supposed to do. What do you want from her? Because Amanda's her friend too. All right, hold on, child. Latrice is grimy. She did the same to So Gucci. She instigated that fight, and now she's doing the same thing to Letitia. She tried to instigate the fight with Amanda and Letitia. Okay. All right, there's a 4. Oop. Most of y'all are saying 2. Okay. Now, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I think that, I don't know, I see both sides, but I did think when it first played out, I was like, I don't know. I feel like Latrice handled herself poorly. Even her standing up in wherever she was, the beauty shop, standing up and running down like the length of the shop, laughing. I was like, girl, I don't know if you handled yourself well. That's your friend, right? There's some shit that you're going to have to take on the chin. You're going to have to take your lumps, Latrice. You did handle yourself wrong. You asked to see the messages. You asked to see them. And then when you saw them, you was laughing at your friend's pain. That's the thing that I saw that I was like, I don't know if I like that part. I think that Latrice could have handled it differently, but I'm tired of I think that she could have handled it differently in the beginning. And I know now that this has played out, because I actually felt bad that their friendship kind of fell apart. But now that it's played out, I think that this is a shit that's going to stick in Letitia's head. You can't do that and expect her to trust you. Hey, Jean Houston. Oh, girl, I appreciate you. Thank you. You are awesome. I appreciate you. That was the part that got me. But at the same time, I think any one of us could have got caught up in that kind of shit, because that's what happens when you're younger. You know what I'm saying? When you get older, you know how to handle yourself. Like if that happened to me today, and someone was like, "Oh, such and such was sending me DMs and blah blah blah," I would say, "I don't want to see that shit." Not only do I don't want to see it, but you shouldn't have told me that, because now I got to do something. You know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't tell. I'm not going to tell because I don't want to be the one involved, but I would do some shit like when we're all together. And when we're all together, I would say to the friend while the husband is there, I'll be like, child, look at this DM that Amanda just showed to me. And while I was doing it, I would like stare a hole into him to let him know that I might know some shit. You know what I'm saying? I would want to make him nervous. I would do that, but I wouldn't tell, just because I would think that that would hurt him. Come on in. Welcome, welcome. Latrice should have had a trio meeting. All 3 of y'all. Come on in here. Okay, well, this is what's happening, okay? Letitia said, when I am not in the fucking room, I'm expecting people I call friend to have my back. And Latrice did not. And she violated my trust. That's where I am. Now Marie chimes in. And Marie said, listen, I don't want you to ever question my friendship. This is what she tells Letitia. I don't want you to ever question my friendship. I'm friends with you. I'm friends with Latrice. But if your man, if Glenn or whomever I saw him cheating, I wouldn't talk to either one of y'all. Ever. I would go directly to his ass and I would say X, Y, and Z. I would check him. I wouldn't go to you. I wouldn't go to her. Now, this was a time when Tambra could have chimed in, but she did not. Because Tambra could have said, listen, I feel the same way. And just to be honest, I saw the DMs too, but Tambra is sitting there completely closed mouth, child, looking at it like it is a tennis match. She don't give a shit. While she says this, Latrice was like, I was looking for big head, old ass Marie to chime in and instigate the situation. I knew she was going to do it, right? And she said, listen, after Marie looks at Latrice, because Latrice isn't saying anything, Marie looks at Latrice and says, bitch, does a cat have your tongue? Like, this is about you. We're all talking about you, so you need to join in. Why didn't you say anything? Because that's my problem with you. You didn't say anything to your girl, and you didn't say anything to Glenn, and both of them are your friends. Okay, so what's up? After that happens, Latrice says, listen, it doesn't matter what the subject, y'all will find a way to make me the fucking scapegoat every single time. So there isn't anything to say because at the end of the day, y'all will always find a way to pin it on me. Marie said it is on you. You put yourself in shit that you shouldn't have yourself in, okay? You bring the fire always, Latrice. Okay, now I'm going to find out what y'all said in the poll. So hold on one second. I want to take this poll with Miss Tambra. All right, sorry. Clone just told me that she can't hear me. This is what I said. This is the poll. 57 of you have voted already. Let me put this up here. 57% of you have voted. The question is, should Tambra have mentioned Amanda showed her Glenn's DMs too, or just stay quiet? 47% of y'all said yes, Tambra should have said something as soon as Marie gave her little, if it was me conversation, she should have said, well, bitch, it really was me. It really was me. So I was there with Latrice when Amanda showed those DMs. She said because she didn't do that, she's sneaky and she's cowardice to let Latrice take all the heat. 43% of y'all said no, it's not going to ease anything. It is what it is, okay? Just you should sit it out. And then 10% of y'all said that you were counting raindrops. What happened, okay? If you're a part of the live chat, you can take the poll. If not, go ahead and just put it into the regular chat, okay? Put it into the regular chat. Let's see. Did Latrice help Tambra when Marie and Letitia was being bullies? Y'all got to move on from some of this stuff. Once they make a decision to move past things, y'all got to move past things and start anew. You're not supposed to hold on to all the bullshit. but that's why they get themselves into trouble. 119 of you are here, 120 of y'all. So go on ahead, hit the like button and share the video. Let's see. Hold on. Since season 1, Latrice made everyone think that Marie was a monster and a hater. But a few years back, I started following Marie on Instagram, and she's such a girl's girl. And she admitted this in one of her lives. Okay. That the producers are asking them to play up the whole bad hair weave. The whole bad hair weave. Okay, I remember that whole conversation about her business and her saying that she got a bad bundle when she went over to the vending machines. But she didn't, or excuse me, but then Latrice didn't want to end it. She kept it going and she tried to use that to take Marie's mental health issue. Okay. Anyway, Marie is a liar and a hater. I don't know. Latrice and Marie are actually getting along this season. I actually like it. I think that they're funny. They're calling each other out and they're not being super mean with each other. But I like Latrice and Marie. I like both of them. Okay, anyway. When Latrice said, y'all trying to make me the scapegoat for everything, she's pretty pissed. She's also pissed at Tambra the most because she said, Tambra, you were right there. You were sitting right there with me and you are letting me take all the heat. Tambra is not getting involved in that. Y'all seem to be split down the middle. Y'all feel like, the same way. Anyway, Treese tells Letitia, your issue is with Amanda. It's not even really with me. And Letitia said that it'll be a cold day in hell before she forgives Amanda for anything. She said Amanda's not getting a squeeze of a lemon out of her. And then the doorbell rings again. This time, it's a psychic. But Letitia said, if that's fucking Amanda, I'm done with everything. I'm not doing anything with y'all. Okay. It happens to be a psychic medium by the name of Dr. Foster, who also says that she is an ordained minister. Okay. Come on in. Hey, Erica. Nice to have you, friend. Okay, hold on. Latrice knows that Letitia is in another world when it comes to Glenn. Don't forget that Letitia joined in when Cliff was accused of DV, even though I believe it. You're not lying, Jean. That's true. And this is something that she also knew her friend was hurt by. If that was her family secret and she only told her friend busted her ass out publicly. That's very, very true. Thank y'all for keeping these memories in check. Latrice looked broken during that reunion. I agree. You made a point. Okay. Let's see. You out for lunch, but save you a plate. I will do that, baby girl. Okay. You want some extra beans and potato salad. Will do. So now the psychic medium is here, y'all. I believe in this or not. I have seen a psychic in the past, and they have told me some real shit about my family, about things that was going to happen to me. And it did exactly the way they said it. It was the scariest shit in my life. There were some times where I was like, I hate that this stuff is even in my head. I hated that I remembered some of that stuff. You're petty like that, Diana. I can't get over past behavior. I try not to do. Oh, okay. The medium ministry stuff was weird. Be one or the other. Well, not everybody was up to it. There were some people that were up to it, like Selena, because she said she wanted to know what her son said on the other side. She said, I'm human. I want to know what he said or what he's saying on the other side. Latrice said, I wasn't raised like that. I was raised to believe that psychics, you were not supposed to play with them. I have a lot of, stuff in religion. So no. But the psychic said she understood, and she would only tell you if you wanted to hear it. Selena said, me first, bitch. Tell me what's going on, okay? And the psychic started sharing things with Selena about her mother and her father. And the things were so real to her that she literally said, stop. And she looked at production And she said, did y'all tell her this stuff before she walked in here? Because that is how heavy the shit was for her. She said, I don't know if you told them this. And production said, no, we didn't tell her anything about any of y'all before this happened. And then the psychic says, yeah, I don't even watch the show. So everything that I'm telling you is literally, it's being channeled to me from people on the other side. So before she even get them words out, Selena is bawling. She is bawling. And then she tells her, is there something that you're keeping, like clothing, an article of clothing? And she said, yes. And she said, who's it from? She tells her son. She gives her son's name. And she says, your son is telling me that you have to stop with all this heavy grieving. You're going to grieve yourself to death. She also tells her that your son's, whatever's happened, or whoever these people are who took your son's life, she said, justice is coming for them. So you don't have to worry about that. They are going to be brought to justice. And this really breaks her. And she said, you also need to know that you have things that you have to do on this side, and your son wants you to start focusing your attention in this life and not on what's going on the other side. Because Selena's already said that she has thoughts about, not being here anymore. He said that you still need to be here. Okay, there's things that's needed from you on this side. And so she, grieves it out. She's crying, and it's what she needed to hear. And I pray to God that it offered her some healing. Okay. Could be street justice. She didn't say what type of justice. She just said they're going to be brought to justice. Okay. So when she said that actually was comforting to her to hear that whoever took her son's life, that they were going to have some justice come to them. Okay. And she said, I really do grieve him all the time, and it's very heavy. So that was great. And then the psychic turned to Latrice and said, I think I have your father here. And Latrice said, I don't want to hear anything. You can pass me, go to somebody else. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. So the medium goes over to Carrie, and she said, did someone take their life or OD or something like that? She said, do you have someone in your family who did that? And Carrie immediately starts crying. And she said, yes. And she said, my auntie. And she said, okay, well, your auntie wants me to share with you that you have a lot of trauma in your family, and that everything gets swept under the rug. And this also like pulls a lot of emotion out of Carrie. And she said, me and the cousin whose mother passed away, she said, we talk about this all the time. And our favorite thing to say is that we sweep things under the rug. So for her to say that phrase in particular, it really, caught her. So she's grieving, she's crying. They didn't show us a lot that happened with Carrie, but you can tell it was a whole lot more, because after that, Latrice says, I want to know. I want to know what my father said. If you can channel him, let me know. She said, I didn't want to know it at first, but after hearing what Carrie had to say, I want to know what's being said about me on the other side. So that's when the medium says to her, your dad is apologizing to you for not being there. He said to me that he failed you, but he is very proud of you. And that causes Latrice to bawl. And I mean, like snot nose, eyes crying. She said, I didn't even cry for my father at his funeral because she just had a wall up. She said, my father just wasn't there for me. I didn't know that he, was proud of me. And she said, to hear that he's apologizing to me from the other side, it was, it lifted some weight off of her shoulder. The medium also told her, I'm getting your grandmother too. And she's telling me that the two of you used to have a little, secret between each other, where she would tell you that you were her favorite. And she said, yep, all the time. She would always tell me that I was her favorite and that was our secret. Nobody else was supposed to know. So after she says all of that, I mean, Latrice had a napkin that was literally the size of a tablecloth. She's dabbing her eyes and shit. And she's crying. She said, yeah, that's really true. She would always tell me that. Anyway, Letitia's over there and she's feeling for her friend. She said, I love Latrice. And even though I'm really not fucking with her right now, I feel bad because I know what, how heartbreaking it was for her to lose her grandmother. And she said, I was really there to support her when she was planning her grandmother's funeral. So she is sitting there watching all this happen, but she doesn't take any, I guess she didn't want to hear what the psychic had to say about her family. And in fact, I think she said something like, I call on my ancestors so much that I don't even think they had anything to say for the medium. So she just lets that pass on by. Come on in. Welcome, 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 y'all. Anyway, after it was all said and done, everyone is emotionally spent. They're like, I'm going to bed, child. I've had a lemon squeeze. I can't squeeze any more lemons if you paid me to. But that's when Latrice tells Letitia that she wants to talk to her. Okay. She got the courage and she says, I need to talk to you outside of the collectives because right now there's way too many people butting into our business. And I just want to know what's up. Right. So they actually go outside to talk. And Latrice was actually very brave. I liked their conversation. Latrice said, I know that you think I played in your face and that I should have told you. And Letitia said, especially since we talk every damn day. We talk every day about everything else, Latrice. So yes, I do think you owed me to tell me about what happened between Amanda and my husband. Latrice acknowledges her. She said, we do talk every day. We do. But I can't go backward and change it. Like, I fucked up. I get it. I'm not even saying I didn't. I understand your position. I get it. But I can't go backward. Like, you're my friend. I love you. Like, she's trying to impress upon her that's how she feels. She said, right now, it feels like you keep saying to me, even though when we've had our sidebars, you're like, it's okay, Latrice. I'm not worried about it. But when we get into this collective, you're saying, fuck me, basically, right? And she said, I'm telling you, I did not do anything. I did not know that Amanda was going to say it. I did not know that they were going to ask these questions. I don't know what else I can do to get you to believe me. Where do we stand? Okay. Latrice asked her point blank, where do we stand? Bitch, I fuck with you, or bitch, I don't. That's an exact quote. I need to know because I can't keep going back and forth with you. And Letitia tells her, everybody that you've brought around the collective comes from me. And she talks about Antoinette and she talks about Mandy. And she said what Mandy did was so hurtful and so humiliating, Latrice. It's hard for me to think you didn't have something to do with it. And Latrice said, because they're my friends, you think that I somehow put something in their ear, said something to make them go after you? And Letitia said, hell yeah, you did something, okay? Come on in, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. She said, you did something, girl, because these people shouldn't be coming for me the way they do, okay? She said, that's how I feel. And she said, the worst part about this, Latrice, is you can tell me you didn't have anything to do with it, but why wouldn't you take up for me? I was in your house. I was in your house. And out of everybody in that room, you knew what was going on with me and my marriage. You knew how vulnerable I was. You knew what me and Glenn were going through. And for you to sit there and even listen to that heifer talk about, I'm attracted to Glenn, and Glenn, you a liar. You know you attracted to me too. All the shit that he did. She said, I just don't trust you. Okay. She said, your friend was out of pocket. We was in your house. And you knew what the hell I've been going through with Glenn. So I don't appreciate it. Latrice admits, I dropped the ball, girl. I did. I was drinking and not thinking. Things were moving so fast. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to say. Okay. This is real stuff. This is why I love this scene, because friends do get caught up in this type of shit. Sometimes things are moving so quick, and because you're stuck in the middle, your mouth does not do what it's supposed to do. Your brain doesn't think the way it's supposed to think. And we can always say in hindsight, this is what you should have did, or if it was me. But the truth of the matter is, it has been you in the past, and you haven't said or did the right thing either. That's just how shit happens. That's life. Okay. So I really enjoyed this scene, the way it played out. And I really respected Letitia for saying that. You're my friend. If nothing else, you should have checked Mandy, right? And Latrice just said, I didn't know. I didn't know how to do it. Letitia said, I got to know who's with me and who's not. I don't have time where I am right now in this life. I don't have the time to try to figure this shit out. Tree says, I understand more how Letitia is feeling. I get it. I totally get it. And she says that they have a lot of work to do to try to get themselves back into a place where they could trust each other and be friends again. And really for Letitia to trust Latrice again. And she said, it doesn't just, it's not just me and Letitia. It's also my husband and Glenn. This entire thing has rocked both of us. We were really friends, and this entire thing has rocked both of us. And Letitia just basically says, at this point in time, we're not going to be 100%. We're not 100%. And I don't know if we will ever be again, but this is where I am with Latrice. Latrice starts crying because she knows she feels guilty. At the end of the day, she feels guilty, and she should. She absolutely should. But I don't know. I feel like she's genuine when she says, listen, I wish I could have. In hindsight, when I look back at the shit, you're right. I should have said something. I just didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to say. Now with that information, y'all, I'm going to ask y'all another poll into the chat. Put it in the chat. If you agree with Latrice or if you agree with Letitia. Because we have all been on the other side of that. I have lost friendships for something similar, for someone feeling like I should have said something, and I didn't say it at the time. I didn't know. I mean, sometimes shit happened to you for the first time and you just don't know how to do it. Latrice, you're on Latrice's side. If you're on Latrice's side, put a 5. If you are on Tisha's side, put a 7. Now, like Jean House, she said, preach, child. This is so true. Now, Jean House reminded me that it was actually Letitia who was putting Latrice's business out there when she was saying that Cliff was a DV. Okay. So Latrice is a 5. Letitia is a 7. 5, 5, 7. That's it. All right. Only one person's on Letitia's side. That's sad. I don't know. I feel like both of them have a very valid point, and I actually feel they're both wrong. I feel like they both have a valid point, and I think that if they want this friendship to work, they have to just recognize that both of them hurt each other and that it's fair for them to try to figure these things out and become friends again. That's what I think. 5, 5. Okay, more people are on Latrice's side though. I'm on both of their sides. I get both of their sides. But I thought that this was an excellent episode because it was really the type of shit that happens in friendship. This is what breaks friendship down. Latrice got a little too high off of Glenn being in Amanda's DMs. She got a little too high about it. And Letitia is putting a little too much on Latrice, even though She's right. At the end of the day, I was in your house. It really is still Glenn's issue. You're taking the heat off of Glenn, and really, Glenn should have never put you in a situation to be in a house with a bitch that he was DMing and trying to see what that's shit do, right? Come on in. Come on in. Yes, she did. Latrice is young. She's making mistakes. You're right. That's what I said. This happened to me when I was younger. That was the first time I had experienced it. I totally get it. And sometimes you have to take a break. Now, when you take a break, it doesn't mean you can't be friends again, because after we took our break, we've been able to talk about it as growner folk. Okay. Not that we weren't grown before, but as growner folk, you can come back to the table and say, I get it, bitch. Okay. I'm sorry. And then your friend will say the same thing. I gave you too much. That it is what it is, okay? But I think that she ain't that young. Listen, she's young enough where she might be experiencing this for the first time. We can be old as shit and experience something for the first time and not know how to handle it. Sometimes we believe we should have all the right answers at that very exact moment. That's never how life works. Ever. Okay. You got to have a village of people around you. You got to know how to say some shit, do some shit. Okay. Let's not forget how Latrice did Aikisha. Tell me how Latrice did Aikisha, Ty, child. Remind me. Are you talking about the fight that just happened with in the last season with Aikisha and Latrice? My granny always told me that nobody can tell your business unless you tell them. So I have zipped my lips on my business. You got to know how to hold them and when to fold them. That's my favorite thing to say. Letitia just has to know Latrice is not her friend and keep it moving. Okay. Letitia knows deep down it's true, so she's lashing out at Latrice. Look, Latrice feels guilty as hell. Latrice has been crying this entire episode. Every time the camera pans her, she looks so lost, and she wants someone to make her okay. In particular, Tambra, because Tambra was there too. Tambra's on the side like, bitch, I don't care. I'm never piping in to say anything. Now Tambra, she's been caught with her pants down. So it is what it is. So you said yes to Aikisha and Latrice this past season, or the season 5. Yeah, it's unfortunate, I think, but it is what it is. I'm happy that they are playing this out on TV. I really think that this is a great season. Every episode has been a 10 for me. I like all of the ladies, and I really like how they've all come together to have these conversations. You're going to have an instigating ass friend who says, bitch, I don't like how you handled yourself. That's what Marie is doing with Latrice. Okay. Even though Latrice is like, bitch, stay out of it. She's doing it. And that's okay too, because that's how friends are. That's how the group will be. But, Latrice knows her time is coming. Tambra has no input or backup for Latrice being there. What do you mean she has no input or backup? You don't think she has anything to say? Oh, it's on episode 7. Okay. Is this episode 7? Keep talking to me in the comments. She's sad because her husband sleeps at the condo and don't sleep at home. Well, that is going to be the storyline, it looks like, for next season, because we got 2 episodes left, right? Actually, just 1 episode left, because then episode 8 is the reunion. Episode 8 is the reunion, and I don't believe that we're getting 3 parts. I think, yet we only got 7 episodes. I think that episode 8 is going to be a 1-part reunion, not a 3-part, because we didn't get a big season. So, but this season was very, very powerful, was very impactful to me in regards to the friendship. I liked it. I really did. Okay. So we'll see what happens next week. We'll see what happens next week, the last episode before we get to the reunion. But anyway, it was a solid episode for me. I liked it. I I feel bad. I feel bad for Latrice. I really do. I think that Letitia also has good points. I talk to you every fucking day. How did you manage not to tell me about Amanda and my husband if Amanda is also someone that they talk to? Tambra is a radio personality, and she knows she has to keep herself clean. Y'all be giving too much to these people with keeping themselves clean. This wasn't a dirty season, I don't think. And the reason why it wasn't is because they really kept the conversation flowing and it didn't get super ugly on social media. I don't know if producers asked them not to do that. I'm hoping so. Because when it goes into social media, that's when things get really effed up. Keep the shit on the show and then let us talk about it. Let the bloggers and the fans talk about it, and that's it. Y'all don't have to go out on social media lashing out, even though they did for a half a second, but not it didn't get too crazy. It's good diving into the friendships. Watch them try to jump her again. Jump Latrice. I hope not. I hope not. Marie was there for Letitia and Tamara. Heard about it. Amanda told no one she knew. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, that's it, y'all. That was the hour. I loved it. I thought it was good. Good in the hood. Okay. Let me see. Thank y'all for coming to the cookout. Thank you. Thank you, Diaries, for the lemon drops and the fruit salad, child. I hope y'all all got something. Erica, come get your doggy bag, girl. I got you a whole tray that you can continue to munch on. Okay. Anyways, y'all, thank you for coming through. Thank you to my moderators as well. I appreciate you for hanging out. We'll see what happens next week. I hate that they gave us a short season this year, but we'll see what happens. I heard that they're taping already for season 7, so I think it's already been greenlit. It was a great season. Anyways, thank you everybody for hanging out with me today. I appreciate every single one of y'all. Hit my like button, become a family member, a subscriber, or a member of my back room. Please and thank you. Follow me on all my platforms too. I appreciate every single one of y'all for rocking with me, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.